Hello. Well, there is a little bit of background noise. I have a fan on. It's been watering. I meant to say lightning, thundering, and raining off and on, but for some reason watering came out. I don't know, maybe someone here is like watering their plants or needs to or just got finished or something with watering. Watering hole? What is a watering hole? I don't know why watering hole is coming through. A watering hole or water hole is a geological depression in which a body of water forms, usually a pond or a small lake. Usually a sunken area of land that fills with water. Like, I know what it is, but for some reason my mind went blank for a moment. Water holes may be ephemeral or seasonal. Okay, well, interesting. I do have a YouTube transmission with the word ephemeral in it. So maybe like there's something in that message for someone. But we'll see if there's any symbolism that comes through this watering hole. And also seasonal caught my eye as well. And depression. So yeah, maybe there's something coming through about that. And I know recently I was reminded, I honestly don't remember who it was, but I heard someone describe depression as like essentially like when your spine is decompressed, and like if you notice like when someone's upset or sad or carrying heavy emotion, like they may be like hunched over or yeah. So maybe this is like metaphorical, maybe literal, but maybe there's like some sort of the opposite of depression or decompressing. Like maybe there's a straightening of the spine, if you will. Right before I went to record for YouTube, I sometimes check I have like a notes, like the notes app in your phone. I have one labeled vid notes, and I had not recorded for YouTube in a few weeks, and I was kind of feeling a little bit like, where do I start? Because I had so much written down. I was just like taking all these different notes, and I realized that I had notes that were just building, and like something inside of me just was like, this is a restart, like 0 point, and I deleted it. I'm starting over. So there could be this feeling of like hitting a refresh button on something or letting go of something to make space for something else, whether it's something in your physical body or notes in your phone, or emotionally maybe it's more than one thing. Of course, I sat with it for a moment. Like, other versions of me could be very impulsive and just like, do things without feeling into it. So I did sit with it for a moment to really see if this was feeling good. And it really did feel good, so I went for it. When I was recording for Patreon the other day, I was catching up on Patreon, so I did back-to-back Patreon recordings, and the archetype of the Fool in tarot was coming through so strongly. And I go more into more detail about that on not this last Patreon post, but the one before it. The name just escapes me for a moment. I'm looking it up now. Oh, interpreting instant manifestation, embracing the process, transmission. That one. Whew. Okay, so I'm going to take a second, and I'm just going to sort of tune in and see what wants to come through the most right now. I felt a pain on the right side of my chest, And I'm hearing the song in my mind. It's either Electric Love or Electric Light from Born, so I always mess that up. Interestingly, when I was recording for Patreon last night, the thunder was so intense. And I was recording, I initially called this YouTube transmission that I was doing the overflow for Patreon last night, Y chromosome, but then I changed it to clear reflection, and I kept the Y chromosome in the description box. And I wasn't even realizing that there was this synchronistic connection that although when I was tapping into the overflow, there wasn't a huge energetic strand of energy coming through in like the masculine collective per se. It actually turned more into like a storytelling. I was having like sort of a connection of dots coming through like the transmission while I was tuning in for Patreon, and I was really guided to dive into that. But now, so this morning I went to take a shower and I just put on a random list of YouTube music, and the song Electric Love or Electric Light came on, and that's what I was just hearing now, and the thunder's back. So when I was listening to the song this morning, I realized in the lyrics it says like the thunder's getting louder and louder, and there's been a lot of synchronicities around the phrase I'm hearing is like alchemical merge. So yeah, this energetic strand is kind of coming through. My ears just started pressure shifting as a relationship energy or some sort of like dynamic with like around the 7th house in astrology around relationships. So yeah, there could be messages in that lyric in those lyrics for someone. And there seems to be this intensity and lots of quick changes. So this is also like a more general energy. Every time there's like some sort of plan lately that tries to happen, it feels like plans are just falling apart. Things are changing quickly. So if you're not quite there yet, this could be something that's coming in for you. It feels like a phase of just like quick shifting, shape shifting, something else that's coming through. I'm pausing because I want to go a little bit deeper into this. Yeah, okay. I just got frozen for a moment. So there could be an energy. Yeah, there feels like a little bit of, I was feeling this earlier too, a little bit of overwhelm. Like maybe right now you're getting like a flood of ideas, but maybe your physical body is like really sleepy or tired. Or maybe you're just like emotionally spent. I just heard that in my head. But your physical body wants to move. Like there seems to be a little bit of, I don't really love the phrase or the term misalignment, but it may feel like that. It may feel like, yeah, like you're trying to move forward in one area, but then another part of you is not ready. So you kind of feel a little bit frozen in ways, or you like go to take action and then you're just like, I need to lay down, or you've been laying down and you're like, I need to get up, and then you get up and you're like, I don't know what to do with myself. Like there could be this like really just like, I don't know, I'm seeing like a toy puzzle, like a plastic puzzle, and usually there's like multiple layers that all align, but maybe like one of the pieces is bent and they won't all get into place. That's the visual I was being shown. So with this, it feels like okay, I'm being taken back to skin and like rashes, bug bites, breakouts in the skin there can be many different layers and reasons for this. I didn't mean to say layers. I meant to say different causes. I know allergies has been coming up. Again, bug bites, heat rashes, multiple different things. Of course, not everyone will be experiencing all of these, but this deep skin purge really feels like connected to the heart, and that Y chromosome energy is coming through, for some reason, and this idea of the masculine collective, the masculine energy, not necessarily, of course, related to sex, but yeah. The heart space. I have been feeling so much movement and releasing through the heart, and I do talk more in detail in my last Patreon overflow that I just posted. I think it's now called, Clear Reflection Transmission. And I go into the story of, I had some sort of like mysterious, I think it was a bug bite or an insect bite of some sort. I didn't see it physically happen, but all the symptoms led to that. And it was quite an interesting experience. And the purging that I felt like that I was experiencing, especially around the chest and the heart area. Whew. If you're interested in that, again, I go into more detail. But it does feel like when I was purging out some of this through my body, and it was coming in waves, and there was pain, there was shortness of breath. It felt like at points I almost went into a state of like lightness and euphoria. Like it was very interesting experience. But the heart, I kept getting this like collective feeling of the heart. So it feels like there's this like, I'm seeing someone pushing a boulder up a hill and then like kind of taking a rest against the boulder and not realizing that they're already at the top, and then they wake up like with the boulder falling down the hill unexpectedly. So that's a very interesting visual that I just had, but that's what it feels like someone, this like masculine collective is about to, like the boulder's already starting to roll and they're kind of like, what is happening? I'm not ready yet, but like they're gonna have to take action in something. So when I say they, I just mean the dominant energy of this masculine collective. So there's like movement in the heart. And you know, when we can have that, sometimes there is tenderness when we're not used to feeling so much, for example, or having something that's been keeping us safe for so long. You know, there's like a newness, a tenderness. So if you are experiencing any rash or some sort of skin release, it does feel like it's being reflected through this heart opening that's happening. I don't know if opening is the right word, but I'll just use it for now. Of course, I am not a medical professional, so please always, take care of what you need to and the way you need to, but just pulling through some of like the emotional and energetics that I was feeling and experiencing. Lots of ear pressure shifting, so there could be some like sinus stuff going on too, like tight temples, head stuff. It also feels like there's a mind's eye shift as well. Heart, mind, eye. Right? Through the high heart, through the thymus. It's really interesting. It's like I'm being shown this like masculine polarity with the heart and the mind's eye, and then the feminine polarity with this like sort of high heart, the thymus. So, and then it like all coming together. Very interesting. I feel like I've been saying the word interesting a lot lately. I mentioned this on another transmission. I can't remember which one. It might have been on Patreon, but I have been sort of having these strange things with my electronics going on, electronics and platforms. So there could be some of that happening for some of you. Like, I was posting, I had this like little system down where I was posting like, you know, making shorts for my YouTube and then uploading them to TikTok. I'm still like learning a lot of this content stuff. And then all of a sudden like that stopped working. And I lost these like privileges on YouTube. I'm still trying to figure that out. I'm not sure what or how that happened. And then my Patreon started acting funny. Like, I always upload a certain way to Patreon, and then that stopped, like, all within like a week or two. And whenever you're finding this, like, I was saying the last week or two from when I'm recording this in end of July 2020. I keep wanting to say 2027, 2025, 2025. It feels like there has just been like, yeah, like tower moment after tower moment of like really just like facing fears. And I did talk more about this on Patreon as well. So I'm not going to go too far into that, but I'm just pulling through some of the energetic strands that have been weaving through. Oh, yeah, okay. So I kept being shown eagles. I was seeing eagle symbolism like within a few days. I don't know, an excessive amount. Like, I must have seen like 7 or 8 references in very strange ways to eagles in a very short time period. Now, yes, we can look up the symbolism to eagles, and if anyone wants to do that, please feel free. So you could also be seeing eagles, but it actually, I'm from Philadelphia, and you know, the Eagles, for me, like, I grew up with football, so like, you know, the Eagles, for some reason, like, I kept feeling like I'm going to be coming back to Philly soon, because I wasn't really planning on going back, but I don't know, that was just the feeling I was getting every time I would see an eagle. And I was a little bit not reluctant, but I was just, I'm not going to do anything about this right now. Oh, the power just almost went out when I said that. Oh, the power is flickering, it might go out. You've been losing power a lot this week where I am. And I was saying before that there's a transmission that I did a little while back, like blackout transmission, so there could be some messages in there. And I've been noticing that power outages have been going kind of hand in hand with the Schumann resonance. So there could be something coming through the Schumann resonance. I haven't checked in on it in a few days, but I've been meaning to. So yeah. Okay, so back to the Philly thing, the Eagles. And then, you know, this was like last week maybe. And then my friend messaged me, maybe I messaged, I don't know. I started talking to my friend, and he was like, my baby shower is like basically next month, like come back for the shower. And I didn't think I was going to be able to, but then things just kind of like worked themselves out in multiple ways, and now I can actually be there. And I realized I was being shown, like, I felt really, you know, like I should be there. So anyway, I'm using this as an example because there may be a sign or a synchronicity that's like being shown to you, maybe let's say days or weeks or seconds or minutes or whatever, before something comes in that you're feeling, whether you're feeling guided to do it or not do it. And it may not be like, for me, that was like instantly thinking of Philly, where I'm from. So it might not be, like, it may be very encoded to you, whatever it is. So like, let's say you were seeing eagles too, but maybe it's like something completely different to you. So, you know, Googling it on the internet, although sometimes that's really helpful, this may be like a more personal connection. I feel like that was extremely long-winded to tap into that, but for some reason that's the way it came through. So I'm just going to trust that. I'm seeing buffalo and billiards. Maybe these are some things. Color blue, flashlights, dragons. I heard the word drippings. Drapes? Grapes. Okay. That's a few little things popping in. You may be seeing repeating fives, a lot of fives. Interesting. I heard 469. I know 369 is a Tesla number, but I heard 469. Or a combination of 6, 4s, 9s in some way. Okay. I feel like I'm kind of jumping all over the place, which I often do. Okay, something else that came through. I was talking the last few Overflow and Patreon. I just saw the number 2040, by the way, and I'm now realizing, I'm pretty sure I did a message, like a future timeline message, and then the year 2040 is standing out to me, so I may have a transmission about that. And it's interesting because I was about to talk about the year 2027. For some reason that's been coming through really strongly, like I said before. So there could be messages in this like future timeline transmission that I recorded actually around the same time as the blackout transmission. It was sometime this year. I was in San Francisco, I remember that. I want to say it was like around February, but I could be off. I have to check. Okay. So back to 2027, and I was tuning in on the Ascension Glossary to the link Avalon Portals. I was just really guided to go there. And when I was recording for Patreon last night, I was having an experience, we can say, like in real time while I was reading or setting up to read more about Avalon Portals. And I was sort of describing what was happening. And it was just one of those like magical connect the dot moments where I've been having this experience. I think it started in like 2021. And I always ask, like, what am I experiencing? And I would hear like little things, but it was just one of those, one of those things that I didn't feel guided to really search for. Like I always trusted that I would know more when I was meant to. And I have to say that isn't always a version of me that exists, but like with this and certain things, I just sort of, let things happen organically in that way. And sure enough, last night, it was so strong. It was a visual experience, although, yeah, I talk much more in detail about this on Patreon, but I did just want to touch on it because the way that it all unfolded really inspired me to sort of build some sort of like presentation or something. I'm still kind of figuring out what it is around this experience. So I just wanted to share a little bit about it and the connection through this idea of 2027 or just like the next few years coming through. And interestingly, I was really lately tapping into like a lot of these, like what people are calling like golden cities, the holographic realities. It's weird I said HOFO. I'm seeing Wim Hof, and then there was like a famous Hasselhoff, David Hasselhoff. I don't know why I'm seeing these people, but that's what I was seeing. And someone who I follow on Instagram, after I was recording all of this, I saw that she was talking about 2028 and the Paradisian timelines, which is so crazy because that's what I've been talking about, and I didn't even see her content. Like the Edenic timelines, like that's been coming through. Paradisio, like this whole idea of, Venusian pulse, and yeah. So I've been tapping into this really deeply, and especially on Patreon. And then boom, she was also talking about it. So there's definitely some sort of, and I've actually after that saw a few other references. So I know that there's those of us who feel tuned into that feels like there's a pulse sort of permeating, and those ready to receive it in their own way, you know, their own unique way, are doing so. So yeah. And it's funny, one of the phrases that came through on the Ascension Glossary, they were talking about, and I've never heard of this before, that Avalon can often be referred to as the land of apples. And I was really craving apples that day. And then I remembered I had an apple in the fridge, so I went and grabbed an apple after I was done recording. But it was just very funny that I was like, out of nowhere, I was like, oh, I really like would love an apple. And then it was like not that long before. And then I read this and it was talking about the land of apples. Yeah, and a lot about Hyperborea has been coming through as well. So these are some themes that maybe are coming up for you, or maybe will be in the near future if you feel connected to this. Of course, this sort of energetic strand. If not, that's totally okay. I wanted to dive deeper into some of this. And I think I will continue to do so on Patreon, if you feel so called to that. Also, there were a lot of, I'm reading here, it says Arthurian, like the King Arthur timelines, but I actually meant to say Arcturian. So some of you here may be feeling connected right now to Arcturus, the Arcturus energy. I know this may be a controversial perspective, but there seems to be a lot of distortion or infiltration through the Arcturian a word is not coming to me. There's a word that I feel, and for some reason it's not coming out. I'll say like the Arcturian pulse. And of course there's many ways to look at distortion. And you know, there's some teachings that say like basically there is no falsity because like there's some truth in everywhere, you know. There's different ways of looking at this. I've just happened to notice that over the years there seems to be maybe some convoluted energy that comes through some of this, some of the Arcturian teachings, messages, etc. So yeah, maybe just the idea of discernment is coming through. I know this is kind of getting really intense right now. I had a dream last night that I was drawing pineapples, and I was like obsessing over pineapples in the dream. Not obsessing, but like, and I was drawing it with a pencil. And I remember I was like, I need more paper. I had this like huge piece of paper, and I was drawing like the biggest pineapple with this little girl, and the name Lindsay came through my dream. So any of those initials or the name, but there was something really significant about this pineapple. I have been eating a lot of pineapple lately and making tea out of the pineapple skin. And they also say that pineapples can represent like abundance. So, and also, I just wanted to see anything else that comes through. A quick little search. Interesting. So I can track back, meaning hospitality. It says the origins. I almost said oranges. Lots of fruit coming through. Bats can be significant. Oh, there's been a lot of so where I'm staying in the jungle, there's obviously bats, and there was a bat in the room next door where I'm staying. But when I went out on the veranda the other day, this bat like flew so close to my head. The residency, the person who runs the residency, her and I were standing outside, and she was like, we both just looked at each other, and she was like, that bat almost just smacked you in the face. Like, it was so close to my face. Like, I made a joke that I was like Neo from the Matrix, because it was crazy. Like, it flew so close, and I literally just like moved my head right in time, but I didn't move the rest of my body. Like, I just moved right out of the way. So yeah, maybe some of you are drawn to watching the Matrix. Maybe there's something about the red pill, the blue pill, feeling like the one for something, you know, like maybe you're really getting that alignment of feeling like you're clicking into something that feels like very deeply, you know, meant for you, or something like this. But yeah. Definitely some deep symbology with bats, for sure. Okay, so the pineapple's origins trace back to South America. You know what's interesting? I read South Africa, even though it says South America. And I am in Costa Rica right now. But South Africa could be relevant for someone, because I don't know how I saw that. I'm also hearing Armenia for some reason, where indigenous cultures like the Tupi, T-U-P-I people, revered it for its sweetness and symbolic significance. They associated it... I'm having a hard time talking right now. They associated it with hospitality, friendship, and fertility, often using it in sacred ceremonies and as a token of welcome. And like I said, I am still kind of like regaining my strength back after this experience that I had with this insect. So I'm still feeling a little bit loopy and a little bit weak. But again, I'm not 100% sure it was an insect, but that seems to be where it's pointing to. Okay, let's see. Pineapple dream meaning can symbolically represent special favor, breakthrough, and fruitfulness. Okay, well, that's lovely. Ooh, another fun fact. I don't know why I'm diving so deep into pineapples, but it says it's hard to believe now, but in the 16th, 17th, and 18th centuries, pineapples were such a status symbol for the very rich that they were quite often They were quite often rented for special occasions. Huh. History is so interesting sometimes. Okay, well, let's see what else is coming through. I just heard the song in my head, Ace of Base, I Saw the Sign. This really feels like highlighting sign synchronicities, different messages that are very personal to you. So again, like, yes, looking things up sometimes, but it's coming back to that, like, what does it mean for you? Like, really tuning into yourself to see what the pattern is. And it doesn't mean you have to figure it out in that moment. It's not about rushing it, but about really trusting your unique connection is kind of what I'm being shown. Yeah. Tadpoles also feel significant. I feel like I'm seeing a tadpole. Oh, and like the leaf cutter ants. So fascinating they are if you ever just like watch them. Yeah. So back to that experience I was talking about on the Avalon portal connection. I was walking the other day at Manuel Antonio State Park in Costa Rica, and monkeys have been, I've been here for almost a month, or a little over a month, and in different locations, different places, like we saw monkeys like 3 or 4 different times within like a week. Like I didn't see any, and then all of a sudden it was like monkeys, monkeys, monkeys. So yeah, there could be something symbolic about monkeys as well. But when I was at the park and we walked through this like beautiful, it felt like, you know, if you've ever gone, this won't be for everyone, but like on a ferry walk, some of you will know what I'm talking about. And it said that portals or changes in the like energetic grids or the atmospheric structure can happen in certain areas, and that when tree branches, for example, like really twist together, and like sometimes when they arch or like have some sort of significant eye-catching difference like that, it's said to be in some sort of portal. And I went a little bit deep into this because it just fascinates me, and like a lot of things that I do. I started putting together a presentation, and I haven't gone back to it in a while, but I've been thinking about it again. And there's also the word borders, like when I was doing some research about it because I was so fascinated by this. I paused, so forgive me. I don't remember where I left off, but I do want to say, when I was recording on Patreon yesterday, I kept stuttering, and I was kind of drawn to this image of like multiple merges trying to happen at once, and sort of almost like an overload to the energy. So like there's not a stabilization yet. So you can take this for like timelines, for example. Like maybe you feel like you are sort of in transition, and yeah, that's kind of what I was feeling. And I just clicked on something when I was paused, and the idea of daily routines came up. So I often talk about like micro changes and integrating new small changes into your daily life. So there could be something about that coming up. And I was reminded of a dream that I had about a train, and I was on this train and I was going somewhere new, and I don't know where, but in this dream had made a stop in the dream. Like it was an unexpected stop, and I got off of the train to go like get some food or get a snack or something, and my sister and her daughter, my niece, were there. And I was like, what are you guys doing here? Like, it's so crazy that you're here. Yeah, so trains. Dreaming of trains. I'm going to look up the dream meaning of a train. It may symbolize that you are undergoing major changes in your life and progressing on the journey ahead of you. You may be experiencing positive personal growth or heading in the right direction in real life. Oh, well, that's a lovely message. So yeah, it could be this maybe little nudge within you that feels like, even if things perhaps are, like I said before, kind of rerouting or changing really fast, or things that feel maybe scary with the physical body, it still just feels like there's this like north node influence of like facing true north, and feeling like there's about to be, or there just was, this like quantum leap into that sort of knowing. And yeah. I keep feeling this like silence, except for, of course, the jungle sounds around me. I'm not sure if they're getting picked up on the audio. Yeah, so maybe there is a call for a bit more silence or meditation, like maybe, or just whatever you connect with, like connect more with yourself. And if you're already doing that, like just take that as confirmation, like a preparation sort of energy. rejuvenation, restoration. Turmeric could be significant for some of you. I actually had some worm tea for the first time in a while today, and it just felt so nourishing. So yeah, maybe some of you are going to be drawn soon, if you're not already, to like teas, warm tea, soup, something like this. Some of you may be diving into Lemuria. I'm just getting like a wave of Lemurian and Venusian energy coming through very strongly. Sunat Kumara is coming through, I feel, as well. And this has been sort of happening lately, where certain YouTube transmissions, when I feel like I want to dive deeper, it's just sort of like taking me through these like different energetic strands. So yeah, if they're, ooh, big release. Oh, that felt so good. If some of you have been feeling like you need a good release, I feel like it's coming. Or maybe you like just had this experience and it feels like there's, yeah, that feels really strong. Yeah, if there's anything that you hear that you would like to go a little bit deeper with, please feel free to let me know, and I will do my best to oblige. I also just looked at my glass where I was drinking an iced milky coffee, and it almost reminded me, there's like an imprint on the glass. Sometimes like I'll see images. First I saw like an angelic presence with like really big wings and a headpiece, and then it looked like a woman from what time period, like the Victorian era maybe, where they would do like the flat hair on top with like, I don't know, like more curls in the front. Looking into a mirror. I'm not sure why I saw those two energies, but I did very clearly. I'm hearing the word fortune, and a lot about ancient Greece has been coming up lately too. Okay, I think that is all I'm feeling for right now. But like I said, if there's anything that's calling for a little bit of a deeper dive, please let me know, and I would love to try and honor that. Thank you. I hope that you're able to take care of yourself well and do something really nice for yourself, and maybe someone that you love, or a stranger. I don't know, I just got that, but random acts of kindness is what I feel. Okay, thank you. Well, I tried to stop the audio, and it like wouldn't stop at first. And when I finally got it to stop, you might have heard a long pause. It paused on 43:23, which for me is like a very deep synchronicity. 43 is like a number that comes to me through like I guess you can call it like a divine union number, and 23 is like my high self number. And when I see them together, it's always like this, 1111 type of, like reunion energy, if you will, with some sort of, however you want to label it. So I just wanted to come back on and say that, because it was just, I wasn't even thinking about that, and it just kind of showed up. So that could be a message in itself. But yeah, okay, thank you.